We are back at the 90s podcast hosted by yours truly, Kevin Thompson, founder and CEO of 99 Capital Group. Thank you guys for joining us. As I always say, subscribe to the channel. As I always say, go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. You have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@99capitalgroup.com. Send us your questions. Go to the website at www.99capitalgroup.com. Schedule an appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, engage. Follow us on all social media channels at 99cap or at MLB to CFP. Today we're talking to one of my favorite people, Helen Stephens of Aspen Wealth Management. She has done some tremendous things in the financial industry. If you are a person looking to start your own RIA, this episode's for you. If you're looking for some insight about mentorship, this episode's for you. If you are a small business owner that is trying to get some light at the end of the tunnel, this episode's for you. Helen Stephens, welcome to the show. Let's get it. We got my girl, Helen Stephens, on the call today from Aspen Wealth Management. You guys, she's a darling. She's a fascinating individual. This calls for you, like the people that want to start their own RIAs. We're going to answer those questions. The people that want to go into business for themselves, didn't have to be an RIA. We're going to answer some questions there. But Helen, thank you for joining the 9 Innings podcast today, my friend.
Well, I'm just honored to be invited.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of your podcast.
Hey, well, I appreciate that. And your background. And by the way, anybody wants to know, she's been helping me through this process. Without her, I wouldn't be where I am today and going to higher highs. So Helen, thank you for everything that you've done for me, because again, without you, there is no me.
Well, I can't take all that credit, but
well, you are.
I was happy to help when asked.
No, but besides that, let's really get down to this, because let's just how you began in this business. Yes, you've been in the business for a little bit of time here, but you started your RIA back in 2011. Tell me about that process. You started the RIA, and then we'll talk around some of the bumps and bruises that you felt, but that process, like tell me a little bit about that process.
Sure. Well, I've been securities licensed, I guess, since 1993. That's the same year that I got my CFP designation. Fast forward through several cities of moving and 3 children being born and all of that. I was here in Fort Worth, and I was working for a firm that decided to take a shift in direction. In that direction, I did not feel like was going to serve our clients well. I didn't think it was going to serve me personally well. I had some ethical challenges along the way. And so I decided that I was going to go find another firm to work for, and I couldn't find one that was planning centric. Everybody wants the assets, but, everybody wants to put that cart before the horse. What are you going to do with these assets if you don't have a financial plan? So I decided, I think there's an opportunity here, and I decided to start one. 2011 was a very interesting year. If everybody think back to 2011 and what happened that was so pivotal that year, the SEC came out and said, listen, if you're under 100 million, you got to go register with your state. And if you're over 100 million, you got to register with us.
Yeah.
Well, in my great timing in life, I was in a very long line of people trying to get registered. Yeah. So it took a hot minute. So it literally, I think our paperwork was turned in maybe July or August, and I didn't get word that we were finally, allowed to do business until the end of November. So I'm in the holidays, right? Yeah. So it was a little frustrating getting out of the gate, but we got out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump in there, because one thing that Texas is good on right now, and by the way, we're from Texas, right? Texas has been a lot faster with turning people over in regards to the RIA side of things. Now, that's not every state, because I can talk about Washington. That took over a year to get that one done, just to be registered in that state. I was like, what am I doing with this, right? But Texas is fortunately one of the lower regulations in regards to getting things done, which is good. But before you go any further, and I know we're going to get there, but like you started this RIA with $0, right?
Zero, goose egg,
So
nothing, nada.
like how difficult is that transition going from like, yeah, you have a stable income to, okay, I got to go get it.
Well, the blessing in all of that is that I have a spouse
Yeah.
and, he had a salary and he had insurance. Now, it wasn't fun to drop my salary. I mean, it created a different kind of household challenge, but, we really believed that I could do this. And so we kind of set some time parameters around it, and some dollar parameters around it. Like we could live for this long without my paycheck. And, we're willing to give this a go for, I can't remember what we said now. I mean, it was probably somewhere in the 18-month to 2-year time frame to really get up and running. And luckily, because of the internet, some people from the firm where I did work found me. But I certainly didn't solicit, for them to because I did not want to get in trouble. So, that
Quote
that was a
unquote.
blessing too. But to start with nothing, I mean,
Yeah.
you really have to claw your way. I mean, I was weaseling my way into every networking event in this town. I would collect business cards, follow up the next day, make phone calls, have coffee. And when I finished the coffee, it was, who else do you think I should talk to network about financial planning? And literally made myself have these phone calls and these coffees every stinking day, just hoping anybody would talk to me about financial planning.
Smiling and dialing is what we call it in the business. Smiling and dialing.
Oh, buddy, yeah, those were tough days, but eventually you do manage to get some success, and those successes and wins get you more wins and successes. And I think doing things the right way, being very ethically centered, it just resonates with people. Doing things the right way, the good you do comes back to you, and I believe that.
Well, you grew up in a business where, especially in the RIA channel or just financial channel in general, where it's male dominated and white male dominated, especially, but male
Yeah,
dominated. And
yeah.
you had those barriers. Tell me a little bit about how that felt of being a female in a male dominated industry. Every industry you go to, it's just 99% men. Every time you're up against a prospect, or you have a new client coming in, or opportunity, it's up against another white male prospect possibly. So how has that challenge been in your rise to success?
It's a great question to reflect on. I think because I was a finance major at SMU, I was in class with other women in my commercial training, credit program training that I started my career in. I had other women. So I never really thought about being different,
Mm.
right? But, at the time that I got my CFP certification, only 19% of the industry were women, and our CFPs were women. And now it's just under 24%. We really have not moved the needle in 3 decades.
Yeah, true.
Now, I'm not going to complain about having a shorter bathroom line than the men. Go to a conference, I've got a shorter bathroom line. But what was interesting is in my own head, I never felt different. But when I would go to these conferences or I would go to these meetings, I was somebody's assistant, right? I was, some little sweet thing, I mean, the discrimination and the sexism were real at those conferences. And so I just got to where, unless I knew I had a girl gang going, I didn't go
Yeah. Yeah.
because I didn't want to put up with it. And, when Aspen started growing and getting, a lot of clients, I kind of made a thoughtful decision. I said, I want our firm to look like our community.
Uh-huh.
Because everybody wants to work with somebody who's like them. And I'm not there yet, but I sure am trying hard. It's something I'm very aware of. And I want to be a firm that is for everybody, in terms of no matter if you're a girl or a boy, or if you're, purple, blue, black, white, whatever you are. I want people to feel welcome. And so that's important to me.
Well, I love what you said because again, We know in 2011 the industry changed. They started putting those parameters about being registered with the state versus registered with the SEC, and 0 to 100 million dollars is SEC, well, is state registered, and then now they're coming back all of a sudden saying, "Hey, we're going to
Yeah.
change the number again." So
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to look moving forward. Maybe there's going to be grandfathering in. Who knows? It's going to turn the industry upside down. But I'm going to say this though, my Helen Stephens from Zero, and I'm reading an article here in the RIA magazine, the little FA magazine here, and it says
Uh-oh.
the top 50 fastest growing firms in America. And I'm like, oh, America's pretty big, right? And at 36, we have, and I don't know if you can see it there, but it says Aspen Wealth Management.
Yeah.
$500 million. Congratulations on your success and your growth.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to see that. And again, the J curve you always talk about. You say, like, it's just like a hockey stick. Like, when did that actually start happening for you? Once you get past 100 million, you're like, okay, we got there. And then now it's like, oh my God, 3, 4, 5. Like, when did that J curve hit for you?
You know, I I can't remember that
Yeah.
far back. I mean, but I will say that my coworker, partner, and I did not build this firm on my own. Obviously, I've got an incredible team that I get the privilege of working with every day. And I think when Nathan Davis joined, which he's about to celebrate 10 years at Aspen, it was four of us, and we just literally kind of took off. And so I would say it took about 3 years into having client acquisition for us to finally kind of get that wheel really rolling. And it just really hasn't stopped. There's a lot of weeks. We're one of the few firms that does planning just for a fee. We don't require assets under management. And I think years of working with these families, now they're starting to have life events like changing big jobs and retiring, and we're still there planning for. And so I just think years of building that funnel is what's creating what the experiences that we're having right now in terms of client acquisition, is that we've just invested so much into these families. And so now we're getting those assets to go with it.
That's beautiful. And we all know as we're building, there's going to be successes, but we're also going to talk about some of the failures. And like when I first started, like that day, and you probably heard it, I was probably calling you like, oh my God, this is what's going on. And I felt all this anxiety. What are some of the mistakes or the pitfalls that you would caution other people to avoid when building their RIA business? Like what did you run into that you said, okay, I would tell my 2011 self this?
Yeah, I think the tendency that we all have because we want those assets is to accept anyone.
Okay.
And I would caution against that. I had a story. A family came to me and they were referred in to me pretty early on into the practice, and they had about $3 million. I mean, that to me was, woo, that would have been great.
Yeah.
But when we really started visiting, the things that they wanted me to do from an investment perspective were very customized, not scalable. It would take so much of my time and attention away from building the business that I had to say goodbye. And that was very painful. I would caution to, don't look at the opportunities that you had that you don't win. You can't ride the lows and you can't ride your highs. You got to stay somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So when you launch, I think everybody has a thought about this is what my practice is going to look like. I thought I was going to have, a lot of female clients, successful female clients, and I do.
Yeah.
But that's not really what came through the door.
Yeah.
What came through the door were couples where the man was worried that he was going to die first or something was going to happen to him and his wife, he wanted her to be comfortable.
Okay.
And so, such an interesting thing to reflect on. So thank you for that question. Yeah, I think everybody needs to come up with who is there going to be their ideal client. Like they talk about personas. And I think if you think about this, not just from their wallet, but what are their interests? What are the things that they like to do? Who are the people they hang out with? Where are the places they like to go? You know, if you really think about the psychographics as well as the money side, I think it makes your practice so much more fulfilling and fun. So that's what I would encourage people to do.
I'm
As they
encouraging
launch.
myself. I'm encouraging myself to continue to take this in because I'm learning while you're talking to me. I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And but so on the flip side, though, so what are some of the must do's you believe every advisor should focus on as they build their business?
Yeah. I would say the first thing is
Okay.
really feel passionate about serving our clients. And that's our culture. I mean, when you think about the place that would be your dream job one day, that's what I thought about building. I want to work with people that I like. I want to work with people who feel like my family away from home. I want to serve people that I enjoy serving. And I want to love these families with everything I've got. And I feel like that's the kind of culture that we've built here. And we all feel very similarly about it.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm just gonna go a little bit deeper. Um, was there ever an instance where you were like, okay, this may not work?
No,
There you
failure was not an option.
go. Okay. 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 So
Because the nice thing about going out on your own is you own your time.
yeah.
And I have, when I launched in 2011, I had 3 school-age kids
Oh, okay.
and a marriage. And, I didn't want to miss my kids' activities.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want, so I had ownership of my time.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't, I mean, that might mean that I'm working at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Okay, who cares? It's my time.
I love it.
So I could prioritize the way I wanted,
Mm.
meaning, my volunteer opportunities, I was very involved in their school, being alongside my husband when he needed me at something. So, that is why this occupation is such a great occupation, I think. But you can prioritize the way you want to prioritize.
Prioritizing, but a lot of people don't know how to prioritize, which leads to burnout. What are some of the things you've done to stay motivated and balanced while prioritizing your time? Like, I mean, I know you know me. I'll be texting late at night, like, "Oh, you see this?" and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm terrible at it. I admit I'm terrible at it. But what are some of the things that you've implemented on yourself? Is it like, hey, I put my phone down and and when I'm checked out of the office, I'm checked out of the office. Kevin, I'm on the lake. Don't text me. That type of stuff. Dude.
I did not put my phone down for a lot of years.
Mhm.
I emailed, I was always on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I needed to build it. Okay. But I will say that the best thing I probably ever did for myself was to start exercising in the morning,
Gotcha.
get that done. My husband would tell you I am not balanced at all. And I don't think about balance like work-life balance. I think about work-life integration.
Mhm.
Like everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. So put the big rocks in the jar
Yeah.
and then you feel pretty good about it. I've done what I can do today. Now, fast forward several years, I've got a team around me. I can leave town and know that my clients are in fabulous hands.
Mhm.
So now when I go on vacation, I'm off the grid.
Well, I told somebody this before. I said when I played baseball, my like baseball and my life were like one and the same. Like when I ate, when I woke up, how I worked out, yada, yada, yada. Everything was just one and the same. And I said, I'm built that way to where like this is one and the same where, okay, it's just integrated into my life to where I don't
Right.
see it as work. I just see it as something that I'm doing. And when I'm on my patio, I may be smoking a cigar or I may be watching Bloomberg or whatever, but it's just a part of me. It's not like it's work. It's just a part of me.
That's
And
right.
but some people that I mean, not everybody's that person. So some people are like, no, this is one part of me, and this is totally separate from who I actually am. So I just my mind can't work that way. And again, more power to people that can. But I just don't see how that, especially if you're a business owner, how you can have two separate like be like a Batman villain like Two-Face, you're two separate people in one body. It's just very, very tough.
It is very tough. But I did get to the point where when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. I am not on the email anymore. But I agree with you. I mean, that's how you know you're doing what you're called to do,
Yeah.
right? Is because you love it so much that it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
So if that means that I need to go back on because I'm thinking about somebody and something or some situation, and I need to get on e-money and do some things at 9 o'clock at night so I can sleep better, okay, because I love it.
Yeah.
And so that's I mean, I think when we talk about burnout, people take personally when markets go down
Mhm.
because clients don't like it when markets go down. I don't like it when markets go down.
No.
But somehow they feel like they're responsible for the performance that's showing up. You're not responsible for the markets going down. You're not that powerful.
Well, some people,
No.
some people are. Just kidding.
Well, Kevin, that is a whole other topic for another
No
time.
comment.
But I think some people put stressors on themselves that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And that can also lead to burnout and dissatisfaction.
One thing I'll say is from an advisor perspective, if we're talking to younger advisors, it's important to understand how you fit into this system. Are you a business owner? Hey, being a business owner is totally different than being a financial advisor. Those are two different hats there.
Yes.
So do you want to be an advisor? Do you want to be a business owner? And can you be great at both? Now, you can be good at both, but ultimately being a great business owner and being a great advisor, it's tough. It's very tough, but it's doable. It's definitely doable because a lot of people do it. But again, it's all about how you can scale your business, how many clients you want. I've said this before, and I'm sure I say 75 to 100. People argue with me all the time, but at the end of the day, if it's 75, if it's 100, if it's 150, knowing how you can handle that workload and what you're willing to give up to handle that workload is powerful because you can make more income, have more clients. That's great, but do you want that?
Well, I think our industry is terrible at hiring in advance.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that I know that are running lifestyle practices that they don't want to give up their income to get some help. And one that helps you scale, that helps you grow faster, better.
Well, I'm gonna stay there. But what if somebody just they don't want to grow?
Okay.
They're just like, okay, I'm good at $80 million. I'm making 300, 400,000 a year. I'm happy.
But the crisis that's coming, and this to be true, is a succession problem.
Yeah.
So people are either selling out to these huge private equity fueled companies.
Go aggregator.
Okay, fine. But is that in the best interest of your clients to do that? Maybe. I can't answer that for them, but
Yeah.
they somehow think that they're going to be immortal and they can serve these people well until they're well into their 70s. And then they're looking in the mirror going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this business that I've built, even if it's not, 600 million.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting conversation. We can unpack that one too at some point.
Well, I'm going to go to this question then. Like, so you're at 500 million again. Congratulations. I mean, people don't understand how important, how big of a number that actually is. Because
Yeah.
one, I mean, like just thinking about when you start, you're like, oh, I'm going to be at 500 million one day. We're just trying to get to 100. You're like, let's get to 100, get the SEC, but then the 500 million, then the billion. What's so funny about our business is that decade ago, if you were at 100 million, you were like, hey, you're doing something.
Yeah, it was
Now,
big. It was
now,
big.
if you're under a billion, you're still considered small. It's like it's what's going on these days.
Well, we just had our strategic planning meeting a couple weeks ago, and our by June 30th of 2030, 5 years from now, it's hanging on my wall. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. We plan on being 1.25 billion.
Congratulations. Based on your growth rates and all the stuff and the amount of revenue and.
But you have to think about that because you got to staff for it. You got to think about that in advance. Like if it takes 2 years to get somebody out of college and get them fully running independent worker, you have to start thinking about what kind of client support are we going to need at that size? How many advisors are we going to need at that size?
What new processes?
What are does anything need to change? I mean, you got to think, is everything scalable that we're doing? So every time I make a big decision in this business, I tell my team, I'm not making this decision based on today. I'm making this decision based on 5 years in the future.
You're killing me, Helen, because you're talking to me, and every time you talk to me, it's like I'm trying to dodge it, but it's hitting me because I know I need to be doing the exact same thing.
You do, because you're successful, and soon you're going to be drowning if you don't think about.
But you know how my mind works. I'm really tech oriented. I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna have a tech solution for it. And it's wrong. I know.
Well, if you find something, I like shiny toys. So if you find something that solves all those problems, let me know, will you?
Yeah. So a couple more questions if you don't mind. So everybody, like we've come from an industry, whether it be the wirehouses or the insurance broker dealers and all that stuff, and they used to scare us, right? Like going out on your own, it's scary. Compliance. Oh my God. You don't understand how tough the compliance is, Kevin. So what are some of the headaches that you had early on that you would tell, like I said before, what would you tell yourself, your 2011 self now from a compliance headache perspective, or just things that popped up? You're like, man, I wish I would have known that then.
There are so many available resources out there to help you. You are not alone.
Yeah.
And depending on who you choose to be your custodian makes a big difference too. We used to have more choice. Somehow the Schwab TD situation wasn't antitrust. Don't get me started on that.
DOJ was asleep at the wheel. It's all good.
Well, yeah. But Schwab has incredible resources for us as advisors. And, they have a whole education center that you can use that has compliance resources on it. I mean, your team surrounds you. There are resources for literally everything. You need a technology consultant, Schwab has it. You need a compliance consultant, they can give you a few names. I mean, you're not alone. So for people that are freaked out about going out on their own because they don't know compliance, well, one, you should probably familiarize yourself with your state regulations before you do that. But there are incredible resources out there, some of them just free, zero cost, that can help.
My number one, if you're going to go out on your own, get someone on your side, like a mentor, like a Helen Stephens. No, matter of fact, don't call it Helen because she's mine. I don't want anybody calling her. No, but seriously, get you a mentor, that's someone that's done it, someone that's successful in this business, and literally just I mean, if they're good people, they're not going to charge you for their time, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just this is a wealth of knowledge for people to come out and grab onto, because they want you to be successful as well. So just mentorship is key, in my opinion.
Well, it is. I had two different firms, founders, that helped coach me when I started. And we still, call with issues and problems. And, the advisor community, I think what people get wrong about the RIA community is they feel like we're in competition with one another.
Oh my God,
We are the most collegial group of people that genuinely care about our clients and want to do well for the public. And if I'm not a fit for somebody or our firm's not a fit for somebody, I feel totally comfortable making that referral to my friend Kevin Thompson, or making that referral to my friend somewhere else in the Metroplex that I know has a specialty or something like that.
Yeah.
We are a very supportive community of people.
We often talk about it. We often say that, hey, the ocean is large, and not one firm can handle all of the water. So it takes a group of us, thousands of us, to come out there and handle each segment of the market, and that's exactly what you're doing. So this is my final question for Helen.
Oh, is our time already up? What? I'm having fun.
We could go as long as you want, but I know I want to respect your time. But Helen Stephens, Aspen Wealth Management, $500 billion RIA. What would you tell your younger self in regards to just not roadblocks or anything like that, but what would you tell your younger self starting out? What would you tell a young advisor starting out, just to give them some semblance of motivation on this is something that you can do? Because like I said, you and I both know where they may be right now. It may be, you can't do this, you can't do that, because that's why I went my own way as well. I wanted to do full financial planning. You can't do tax planning, Kevin. You can't do estate planning, Kevin. Well, I don't necessarily do estate planning, but you can't talk about estate planning. You sell life insurance, and that's what we do here. And we manage assets. Well, that's not doing any financial planning. So what would you tell a younger advisor in this business, wanting to get in this business, just starting out, outside of just getting a mentor and listening to them?
Yeah. I think that, by being a good person, showing up on time, doing what you say you're going to do goes further than you think.
Yeah.
Because it's more rare than you think. But yeah. I think if I look at my younger self, and, I think this life is a great ride. I had no idea where I would end up. If you would have told me in 2011 that I was going to be leading a firm of 10 people with $575 million in assets, I would have told you that you were a lunatic. I mean, you just don't know where this crazy life and road is going to take you, and just enjoy the journey. Do the best you can every day. That's all anybody can ever ask of you. And some days it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Not every day is going to be a perfect day. And that's part of it too.
Well, I'll tell you, Helen, this is always a pleasure to speak with you. And I'm going to say this. I'm still upset about you not wanting to take my offer to come to Future Proof. I mean, that hit me in my heart. I was like, man, this is going to be great. We're going to get here. We're going to have a conversation. This is going to be lovely.
Oh, I would do it in a hot second if I didn't have my study group that I've already committed to. I'm sorry, Kevin.
She's using no study group, but she said, you know what? That's too small fry for me. I got other things to do.
That's not true. That is not true. Please forgive me, and please invite me again next time. I don't get these opportunities like you do, because I'm not a media star like you are. But
hey, I'd rather have $500 million in assets to be.
Please invite me again.
Absolutely, I will do. So, final thing, anything you want to leave the audience with, some of your wisdom, something that you think that over the top, that, hey, just some kind words for the audience.
Oh my gosh. I don't know that I have any more wisdom to impart today, Kevin. I think you've gotten so much out of me. I'm cooked.
She's done. She says, I should be on a lake right now. I should be on a lake on a boat somewhere right now. Helen Stephens.
I wish.
Aspen Wealth Management. Thank you for joining the 980s podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Kevin. I appreciate it very much.
I'll see you again soon.
We had Helen Stephens on the call. Aspen Wealth Management grew a $500 million RIA from zero it started in 2011. One of the fastest growing RIAs here in the country. She's a phenomenal person. Today we talked about some of the challenges of going out on your own, how to scale an advisor practice, how to work with individuals, knowing yourself in the business and some of the challenges that you will have in the business. Thank you, Helen from Aspen Wealth Management. As you know what, subscribe to the channel. Go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. You have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@99capitalgroup.com. Send us your question. Go to the website at www.99capitalgroup.com. Schedule an appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, engage, also entertain. Follow us on all social media channels at 99cap or at MLB to CFP. Helen Stephens, thank you so much for this. The ambassador of Quam. Appreciate you. Stay humble, stay safe, my friends. I'll see you again soon.